She made fucking beans. What the fuck?
The beans! Yes, the ever infamous Samsung Galaxy Beans. I bought them! I know that's not what they're actually called. They're called the Samsung Galaxy Buds Live, but I mean, why not just call them the Beans? Come on, Samsung, the name was right there! For those of you who don't know, this is the final part in my little series where I talk about earbuds back to back to back. This is going to be the shortest of these reviews because I really don't have many nice things to say about them. I was looking for an earbud that would allow me to hear my surroundings when I'm at work, so I actually considered using the Samsung Galaxy Beans along with the Sony Link Buds. And ultimately, I got a better deal on the Beans, so I went with those. And now, I'm gonna tell you why they suck. Oh, but on a side note, I just kinda wanna put them in my mouth so bad. So these do fulfill my requirement of letting noise pass through. That's kinda what the whole point of these are. But they fit like an idiot. Figuring out how to get these to fit securely was a bit of a challenge. I mean, they're bean-shaped. But once I finally got them in the right spot, I didn't find them comfortable, like at all. These were quite irritating to wear. If I had the choice between no music and having music, but having to use the Beans, I would just choose no music. One thing I do like about them though, is that they look like beans, and I think that's funny. But that's about their only redeeming quality. The case is just very okay. It's about the same size and shape as the Samsung Galaxy Buds 2's case, so it fits pretty comfortably in a pocket, but it feels really cheap. There's no satisfying snap when you open and close it. To me, the hinge kind of feels a little gummy. The Galaxy Buds 2's case is leagues better than this. Also, these magnets are terrible. Look at that, there they go, they're running away. Features? They have touch controls, we all know how I feel about those. Battery life? It's got about 4 hours with ANC turned on and 6 hours with it turned off. Oh, the ANC, we'll get to that in a bit. No EQ, which is a damn shame because these sound like listening to music through a fucking sock. I don't care about whatever their waterproofing is, I don't care. I'm not gonna test the microphone. You guys know the deal, microphones on all wireless things sound terrible. No LDAC support. They have transparency mode, which I find kinda hilarious because it seems a little redundant on these because they don't even seal, like at all. The whole point is that they let noise pass through. It is worth noting that I have heard people do like to use the transparency mode on these as a kind of hearing aid, which is a valid use for it, but I can hear just fine without it. Okay, so let's talk about the ANC. Yes, they do have active noise canceling technically, and it is terrible. It almost doesn't even function. Like, it can almost get rid of the sound of my air conditioner in my bedroom. Almost. You know, rather than neutralizing sounds, it just makes the world around you sound slightly quieter, but truth be told, I don't even notice when it's on. That's how little of a difference it makes. I said earlier that music through this sounds like you're listening through a sock. Well, the ANC on this is like you threw a light blanket over your head. It basically does nothing. And one of the reasons why I hate the fact that this ANC basically does nothing is because I barely even notice when it's on. So I could be using the ANC, not even notice, and just be wasting battery life for no reason. So how bad is the sound quality? I can only describe the sound of these as being like the Necco wafer of sound. It's gritty, devoid of all pleasure, and comprised entirely of disappointment. They sound like a fuckload of ass. My big issue with these is that their frequency response is wildly inconsistent because it's entirely dependent on how they fit. I can get them to fit semi-comfortably in my ear in 2 different positions. If I angle them so that they're just about inserted into the entrance of my ear canal, I get a lot of bass, and it's mostly mid-bass, barely any sub-bass. It's muddy, it's bloated, and music just sounds like it's playing from underwater. If I set them so that they're not quite as far in my ear, they sound kind of bright tilted and thin sounding. Actually, do you know what these remind me of? I used to work at a pizza shop, and something my coworkers and I used to do when we wanted to listen to music during our shift is we would take one of these plastic containers that we used for storing toppings and set it down so the top was pointed toward us, and then we would put our phone inside of it and play music with our phone speaker, and the plastic container would act as a kind of amplifier so we could all hear it. That's what listening to the Beans reminds me of. Man, I kinda missed working at that pizza shop. It was a lot of fun, and the crew I worked with was a really good bunch of guys. You know what I don't miss about that job though? Listening to Goodbye by Russ on repeat for hours because it was Bob's favorite song, and he was the manager, so we didn't always get a say in what we listened to. That song is fucking garbage, by the way. So that's frequency response. How's the subjective performance? It's timbre, a fuckload of ass. It's imaging, a fuckload of ass. It's resolution, a fuckload of ass. It's information and detail retrieval, a fuckload of ass. Soundstage? Okay, the soundstage isn't, I mean, it's not terrible, but that's only because the driver sits physically further from your ear compared to actual in-ear buds. Do I recommend it? Let me check how much these cost really quick. $98 US.
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no.